beat them to death. It drives me crazy. And then I'm going to pick on our one police officer, if you don't mind. I'll be nice. Have you ever been trained by any of your training and training officers of the academy? Have you ever been trained what the first question you're supposed to ask? I don't know what kind of police officer you are, so I'm just going to assume you ride around in the car and stop people, right?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Huh?
Every once in a while.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So, has anyone ever told you what your first question you're supposed to ask at the window is?
Why I pulled you over.
See? That's a lawsuit in federal court, right there. I can just make some money. Because it's a failure to train. It's not his fault. The United States State Department says the very first question all police officers in the United States are supposed to ask is, are you a U.S. citizen? And do you know the United States State Department puts out a manual? It's over 100 pages. I did not copy it all off because it doesn't fit these little plastic sleeves. But I copied off the first 20 or so pages because that's all I need to train a police officer with, is the first part of this book. See, this book is from the United States Department of State, Consular Notification and Access. This is the 5th edition. This one happened to be published September 2018. They publish them every so many years. And it says, instructions for federal, state, and local law enforcement and other officials regarding foreign nationals in the United States and the rights of consular officials to assist them. See, if you pull over anyone, your first question is to be, are you a U.S. citizen? If the answer is yes, do what you do. Because they're to follow the rules, codes, statutes, and ordinances. But if you pull someone over and they say, no, officer, I am not a U.S. citizen, then your job is to drive away, unless he's committed a crime. If he's committed a crime, you're not to ask him any questions according to this manual. Your job is to call the State Department Foreign Division and get that person a consul. Now, if he's committed an act of crime where there is a victim, and the state can't be a victim because it's just a corporation. Oklahoma is about to change that, I hope. Please pray that that bill passes. Because we are commanded to come out of her, O ye Babylon. And that means Babylon was the first incorporated city in the world. So to come out of her, O ye Babylon, means to come out of the corporate construct. Isn't that interesting? See, their job is to get a consul before they ask them any questions, unless they committed a crime where there's a victim. They got in a traffic accident, they injured somebody, and they did something against statute to cause that, and they're at fault. The officer, it doesn't matter whether they're a foreigner or a U.S. citizen or a state national. Their job is to haul them in front of a magistrate as quickly as possible. That's their job. That's due process. See, what we really have in this country is a failure of due process. You guys all need to learn what due process means. It means the right to be treated with dignity and respect. Some of these police officers do not treat their American brothers and sisters with dignity and respect because they're trained not to. Now, some of them are some of the nicest people on earth. And I love them. You'll have to learn about due process. Just like most things in America, it's spread a little here, a little there, a little everywhere. It's spread all through the Constitution. Okay? Due process is the right to be heard, the right to confront your accuser.
The right to present evidence.
I was getting there. Turn your mic on.
You know, this is my niche, baby.
I know.
You should let me talk about due process.
No, just really quick, rattle it up.
Can I talk to him about
No.
LMA Clanford?
No.
So due process is notice, opportunity to be heard, opportunity to cross-examine witnesses, present evidence. Fundamental fairness. Fundamental fairness is protected by the Due Process Clause of the Fifth Amendment. And that's a U.S. Supreme Court case called Johnson. Due process, again, they've even said that codes and statutes violate due process. So don't let them get away with using codes and statutes against you. I've actually stood in front of a judge who said, well, your statutory rights are. And I thought, what? I said, ma'am, correction. My rights come from God who made me. My rights don't come from codes and statutes. That's the all capital name, that little piece of paper called the birth certificate, that's not me. So due process, you've even got the wrong person. You sued me in the all capital name, that's not me, that's my vessel. I just want you to know, I need to put you on notice now that you even have the wrong name. There's a maximum law, you can't even sue a thing unless you know its name. Why is it that law enforcement has like their first initial be like J and then Smith? Or John with a capital S. They don't even want to give you their name because that's how you sue them.
Turn her mic off now.
So, baby, I really want to
You
talk.
can get into it later. Hold on. Stop. Oh, I love her so much. That woman has a brain on her that just won't quit. It just doesn't. And she knows the law so well. She tells Governor Abbott what to do all the time, and our Attorney General, she writes them letters and tells them what to do, and quite often they do it. And I've watched her school more than one judge, and she does a good job at that. And I watched her, as Consul General of the Republic of Texas, run up the side of the road with police officers with her badge in the air and scare the holy crap out of her.
Yeah, I almost got a gun pulled on me, but that's okay. I was still coming. They told me to stop, and I just kept walking with my badge up in the air, and they took their hand off their gun. Said, you don't have jurisdiction. He's one of my people. This was a traffic stop where David got pulled over, and this was in our area where we live, close to our office. It's so funny. David loves to speed. Anyway, all of a sudden he pulls over.
I wasn't even speeding that time.
And 4 of us liberty-loving people pulled in behind the cops that had pulled in behind David. And all of a sudden, they're swarmed with liberty lovers.
All the ones that were ahead of us turned around and came back. They sat on the other side of the road facing them.
With a camera running.
2 of our guys on 4-wheelers came down the side of the road,
And
stopped at the
I pulled
windows.
my badge high in the air.
I felt sorry for those poor police officers.
And the
They had
police-
no idea why they just got surrounded by Republican Texas
And
State
they-
Nationals.
They started using wordy words like, what the happened here? What's going on? They didn't understand when David's whole truck, and I said, you are messing with the wrong man. Back off. He's not one of your slaves. Anyway, they left. They didn't ticket him. I personally, I cannot afford to have my husband in the clutches of the deep state agents, so I'm never going to let that happen.
The nice thing is they couldn't find my vehicle in the system.
Can't find him in the
They
system.
couldn't find me in the system.
Couldn't ticket him. He's not one of theirs.
so they couldn't give me a ticket.
The power of the affidavit of repudiation.
They had no contract. And we showed it to them in the law.
Did you show them a passport?
Absolutely.
And the Republic of Texas ID.
Look, you got two documents that the federal government or the state government issues. One is for acting in commerce. When you're in commerce, that's called a driver's license. If you are in commerce, you use it. Nothing wrong with using it. But very few people are in commerce.
Drivers.
Taxi drivers, Uber drivers,
drivers,
Lyft
bus
drivers,
drivers.
bus drivers, anybody hauling a passenger for hire,
FedEx.
better use their driver's license even if you're a state national.
However, most of us travel in the private.
Yes, sir. Shh. Turn the mic off. No, not right now. Stop. Turn it off. I'm going to come take it. You don't want that. I'd have to, hold you down and smother you with kisses or something, so just stop. Yeah, a little bit. It's become that over time. Okay, public servants in the performance of their public duties. What happens if they're off work and they're just going to the movies and taking their wife out to dinner? Do they need a driver's license? No. Supreme Court has ruled on this so many times. There are books written with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of law. This book alone has enough information, and this one's relatively thin. I have books written by attorneys that show you don't need a driver's license. Except for 3 times. 3 reasons. Hauling passengers for hire, you need a driver's license. A public servant that performs your public duties, you need a driver's license. Or hauling freight for interstate commerce. Goods are for interstate commerce. You need a driver's license. The United States Department of Transportation is very clear on this too. I love it. Up here, you'll see a book, and you guys are welcome to come up and flip through it and take pictures of the QR codes, because it'll take you right to their website and pull up things like the police visor cards. Police visor cards. Isn't that interesting all in itself? These are things that a police officer could print out in color. They're made for him to laminate and put up on his visor. So he knows what a commercial vehicle looks like. Because that's all the United States Department of Transportation allows him to stop. Yet the states write their own statutes for policy and revenue collection purposes to override the law that the U.S. Department of Transportation puts down. See? Police visor cards are designed for a police to put on their visor. You can print them out in color.
Maybe a car to tell us vehicles that could pull over.
Yes. And they look like this. I don't know about you, but do you see your Toyota Camry on there? Your Chevy Silverado? No, you don't. You don't see any passenger vehicles unless it's a 9-passenger bus or larger, or a taxi, a limo, things that haul passengers for hire. I see all kinds of buses, UPS trucks, cement mixers, all kinds of different commercial trucks that carry various things. I even see a pickup truck on here with a trailer that has 4 axles or more. How many trailers behind pickups have 4 axles or more? He doesn't even know it exists. You understand? What we have here is a failure to train in the United States. All of our police officers, forgive them for they know not what they do. They haven't got a damn clue. Their training is so bad. Oops, did I cuss? Oh, I'm glad I cleared that. Okay. Oh. Scary. I like this one. I'm just going to throw a few things out. We're jumping around subjects a little bit, but that's okay. Article X1. I guess that's 11, right?